Betsy, her head drooping under a slack rein, followed the spotted pony among the dark trees. Farther and farther behind, they left the warm, bright glow of fire. Looking back, Caddy saw it twinkling like a bright star. It was something warm and friendly in a world of darkness and sleet and sudden icy branches. From the bright star of the Indian fire, Caddy's mind leapt forward in the bright warmth of home. They would have missed her by now. Would Katy tell her where she had gone? Would they be able to understand why she had done as she had? She bent forward against Betsy's neck, hiding her face from the sharp needles of the sleet. It seemed a very long way back, but at last the branches no longer caught at her skirts. Caddy raised her head and saw that they had come out of the open river bank. She urged Betsy forward and beside the Indian pony. "John, you must go back now. I can find my way home. They would kill you if they saw you." John only grunted. He set his moccasined heels into the pony's flanks and led the way onto the ice. Betsy shook herself with a kind of shiver all through her body, as if she were saying, "No, no, no!" But Caddy's stiff fingers pulled the rein tight and made her go. The wind came down the bare sweep of the river with tremendous force, cutting and lashing them with the sleet. Betsy slipped and went to her knees, but she was up again at once, and on her way across the ice. Caddy had lost the feeling of her own discomfort in fear for John. If a white man saw him riding toward the farm tonight, he would probably shoot without a moment's warning. Did John understand that? Was it courage or ignorance that kept John's figure so straight, riding erect in the blowing weather? "John!" she cried, but the wind carried her voice away. "John!" But he did not turn his head. Up the bank through the woods to the edge of the clearing they rode, Indian file. Then the Indian pony stopped. Caddy drew Betsy in beside him. "Thank you," she panted. "Thank you, John, for bringing me home. Go now. Go quickly." Her frightened eyes swept the farmstead. It was not dark and silent as it had been the night before. Lanterns were flashing here and there. People were moving about. Voices were calling. "They're starting out after the Indians," thought Caddy. "Father hasn't been able to stop them. They're going to massacre." She laid her cold hands on the spotted pony's neck. "John!" she cried. "John, you must go quickly now." "John, go!" said the Indian, turning his horse. But before the Indian could turn back into the woods, a man had sprung out of the darkness and caught his bridle rein. "Stop! Who are you? Where are you going?" The words snapped out like the cracking of a whip, but Caddy knew the voice. "Father!" she cried. "Father! It's me, Caddy! It's Caddy! You, Caddy! Thank God!" His voice was full of warm relief. "Hey, Robert! Bring the lantern. We found Caddy. Caddy, my little girl." Suddenly Father was holding her close in his arms. His beard prickled her cheek, and over his shoulder she could see Robert Ireton with a bobbing lantern that threw odd shafts of moving light among the trees. John, too, had dismounted from his pony, and stood straight and still, his arms folded across his chest. "Oh, Father!" cried Caddy, remembering again her mission and the last uncomfortable hours. "Father, don't let them kill John. Don't let them do anything bad to the Indians. The Indians are our friends, Father. Truly they are. I've been to the camp and seen them. They mean us no harm." "You went to the Indian camp, Caroline?" "Yes, Father. That was a dangerous thing to do, my child." "Yes, Father, but Ken and some of the men meant to go and kill them. I heard them say so. They said they wouldn't tell you they were going, and you weren't there. Oh, Father, what else could I do?" He was silent for a moment, and Caddy stood beside him, shivering and oppressed by the weight of his disapproval. In the swaying lantern light she searched the faces of the three men. Robert's honest mouth open in astonishment, Father's brows knit in thought, John's dark face impassive and remote, with no one knew what thoughts were passing behind it. Caddy could bear the silence no longer. "Father, the Indians are our friends," she repeated. "Is this true, John?" asked Father. "Yes, true, Redbeard," answered John gravely. "My people fear yours, John. Many times I have told them that you are our friends. They do not always believe." "My people foolish sometime too," said John. "Not now. They no kill white. Redbeard my friend." "He brought me home, Father," said Caddy. "You must not let them kill him." "No, no, Caddy. There shall be no killing tonight. No, nor any more, I hope, forever." Over her head the white man and the red man clasped hands. "I keep the peace, John," said Father. "The white men shall be your brothers." Redbeard had spoken. John's people keep the peace. For a moment they stood silent, their hands clasped in the clasp of friendship, their heads held high like their two proud chieftains. Then John turned to his pony. He gathered the slack reins, sprang on the pony's back, and rode away into the darkness. "Oh, my little girl," said father, "you have risen us a bad 4 hours, but it was worth it. Yes, it was worth it. For now we have John's word that there will be peace. But, father, what about our own men? They meant to kill the Indians. I heard them." "Those men are cowards at heart, Caddie. Their plans reached my ears when I got home, and I made short work of such notions. Well, well, you are shivering, my dear. We must go get you home to a fire. I don't know what your mother will have to say to you, Caddie." But when they reached the farmhouse, the excitement of Caddie's return was shadowed by another occurrence. Katy, who had sat pale and silent in a corner all during the search, rushed out of the house at the sound of Caddie's return. "Caddie!" she cried. "Caddie!" Then suddenly she crumbled like a wilted flower and had to be carried away to bed. And that's, we're on page 143 now.